What's up, guys? It is Corey from SuperKamiGuru9000, and welcome to my review of One Piece, episode 596. So the One Piece anime is like on top of the world right now. It's really, really popular in Japan, as it's always been. It just premiered actually last night on Toonami, which was really, really cool. So if you guys are out there, make sure and support that show. Hell, even if you're not going to watch it, just turn your TV to that channel and walk out of the room. Do whatever you can to support this. And this was also the release of the fifth set in the fourth season from Funimation, which we'll get to that one eventually, guys. So this week, if you're hoping for Luffy to have some epic battle with someone, you might be a little disappointed, especially because Tashigi and Smoker are still switched up, and Luffy just finds this absolutely hilarious. And, you know, it makes kind of a lot of sense here, because both of the characters can't really use their abilities to their fullest, and Luffy makes pretty short work of both of those characters, especially when he goes into his Gear Second, which he playfully goes into while he's just flipping around. And he's not the only one who gets to show off this week. You also got Robin, who's just, you know, clutching everybody to death. You got Frankie using his right strong arm and just all of his crazy beam abilities to, like, blast into this building. And that's pretty much what the bulk of the first half of the episode really is just this big confrontation between Luffy, the G5 Marines, and some of those weird Centaur guys. And most of the action is pretty good, but most of it is played for laughs. Probably the most interesting thing of the entire episode this week was probably when we finally got to see all of that crazy slime that was coming from Smiley starting to slam into the battle area. And it first appears on one of the battleships, and they have no idea how to react to this stuff at all, but it's pretty dangerous, and they try to take it down. First they try to cut it, then they try to shoot it, but that just releases all of this poison gas, and then slowly but surely all of these giant blobs start to, like, come together and form this giant creature, and its eyes start to come out. And they try to destroy it even more, but then this one guy's like, hey, let's kill it with fire. And he has this giant flamethrower, and it looks like it's working at first. And that's when we find out that Smiley is incredibly flammable and explosive, because out of nowhere, it just explodes, and the entire ship is taken out. And then that's when all of a sudden, all these other giant slime blobs start to make their way over to the battlefield. And then we cut away to Zoro and Brook and Sanji, who is still inside Nami's body, and they get to see what's happening, and apparently Smiley is launching pieces of himself across the Fire Island into the ice area, and then he's going to slowly reform back into himself. And this is all explained at the end when we actually get to see that Caesar Clown makes his way to the battlefield, and pretty much explains to everyone, you're all pretty much screwed. I'm about to set off a huge bomb, and you're all going to be a part of this awesome experiment, so sucks to be you guys. Trollololo. And of course, the funniest part of the episode for me is Caesar Clown is actually captured at the very end of the episode. And that's what Luffy and them wanted to do. They wanted to capture the master Caesar Clown. And it actually ends with Luffy grabbing Caesar, and Caesar's like, what the fuck? To be continued screen. That's how these series work. So, you know, it wasn't a perfect episode of One Piece, and it definitely moved at a lightning pace, and not too much happened. But in typical One Piece fashion, it's definitely entertaining, if only for the fact that the world itself is so insane. But now we finally get to see that this giant creature is, like, hurling itself, like, across the island and then going to reform itself. It's a really cool thing, and I can't wait to see how the Straw Hats are actually going to have to deal with it. And more interestingly, I can't wait to see how Zoro and his group are going to have to, you know, try and prevent this from happening. But some pretty serious shit's going down. There was some minor stuff with Law this week in Chopper. They were making their way into the building. But really, it was all about Luffy capturing Caesar Clown this week, which is definitely a great laugh, which is going to lead into a much bigger battle, I'm sure, especially if you watch the preview. So it wasn't a perfect episode. Some of the animation was iffy, but, you know, that's typical for a series like this. But still, it was fully entertaining. I just wish a little bit more would happen. That seems to be my biggest gripe with One Piece, is I just want more to happen. And I hate having to say that almost every week, except for a few minor exceptions. But still, I think if you're a One Piece fan and you're following this arc, you should definitely check it out. So I'm probably just going to drop an 8 out of 10 on this one. Like I said, some animation was a little iffy, and I wish more would happen. So 2 points off, 8 out of 10. Check it out, guys. Pretty good episode. So, guys, that concludes my review. How did you feel about this week's episode, getting to see Smiley hurl his Loogie clones all over the place? You can let me know with your comments below. And make sure before you leave, hit that like button so you can give this video a thumbs up. It's one of the best ways to support SuperKamiGuru9000. That and subscribing, of course. So, that concludes this review today. We'll see you next time. SuperKamiGuru9000. Out.